Hi, I'm Lynn Forbes, and I'm co-founder of WOW Network, Women Honoring Our Age. And I'm here at Women at Woodstock, an amazing conference with terrific women like Linnea Duvall. Can you believe that name? I mean, that name is like, you know, those are novels are written about names like that. So welcome.
Thank you.
Linnea is a therapist, and she specializes in helping women focus on their self-esteem and, as you said, I think, being your own best friend.
Absolutely.
And Linnea did an amazing session this morning with us and she took us through some exercises and helping us to focus on how we can be on our own side, I guess is the way to describe it. Can you go into a little bit about what we talked about this morning?
Since I was 20, and given this is Women at Woodstock, and you know I'm over 50 to be here.
You are.
That's a lot. Yes, I am. That's a long time to be dealing with the same thing that I see with women, and it's a lack of self-esteem. I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not anything enough to deserve to take really good care of myself. So I need to take really good care of everybody else, and then I'll be okay, and then I'll be loved. And we starve ourselves for our own well-being.
And did you get to a point in your life where you realized you were doing this to yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And so you started working on yourself along these lines, and then you incorporated it into your work.
Well, here's what I remember. I remember working really, really hard, and then working really, really hard as a wife, and then working really, really hard as a volunteer, and then working really, really hard. And I would catch myself and I would think, oh, look at you. You're sneaking fun. Mm-hmm. You don't think you're allowed to just have fun, like do something fun for yourself. You're sneaking fun.
Yeah.
Like it's a, wrong, bad thing to do.
So you were feeling guilty about having a little joy.
A little joy, or a little self-love, or a little self-care.
Yeah.
Something that I did for myself. It was sort of like, that's the very last thing I'll do, and if I possibly have time, I'll just sneak it in. And I think a lot of women do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, did you realize, was there a moment? Was there an occurrence?
Well, most people who are therapists had a really good therapist in their past. Mm. And I had an extraordinary therapist in my 20s, and she looked at me and one time I said, honestly, am I allowed to just go home and do this? Am I allowed to just go home and have this fun? I mean, but I don't know, I shouldn't do it because and I was all over the place coming up with all these different reasons why I shouldn't do it. And she literally reached across and went, Linnea. And I stopped in the middle of this litany and said, yes. And she said, go home and have the fun.
Yeah.
And I thought, she's important, and she's official, and she just told me I'm allowed. I remember thinking, oh my God, what must be going on for us that I needed somebody official who's an expert to tell me I'm allowed. Right. And then the longer I worked with women, the more I realized so many of us need to be told, you're allowed. And I have a really great, it's an old country western song. Not that old, but I work with moms. I work with mothers of teens who are in there's no time for me ever. It's a soccer game, and then one goes to this and one goes to that, and then there's food and meals.
And they're teenagers.
And they're teenagers, and they're screaming, what about me? What about me? And I've said to them, listen, you really need to operate from if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so at least once a day, you have to do something. And I said, it's actually good for teenagers to hear someone say, sweetie, I'll be back to you in half an hour. Mm-hmm. I need this to do right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mommy needs a timeout.
Yes, mommy needs a timeout. Thank you so much. And I had an absolutely fabulous, wonderful stepson for a period of time. And he, when he was 12 or 13, had this thing of going, Linnea, you have to come right now and see this totally cool thing I found on YouTube. Or you have to come right now and read this thing I wrote. And what I learned to do was say, sweetie, I actually don't have to come see that right now, but I will be there in 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Can you hang till then? And I would watch this young man go, yeah, yes, I can. Mm-hmm. And I'd say, time me, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
That's a great idea.
But I would finish what I was doing that was important to me or needing to get done or whatever.
Well, Linnea did her session this morning took us through some exercises like this. And one of my favorite things about this morning was that she handed out these little Post-it notes that are life's permission slip. And she asked us all to write down one thing that we were giving ourselves permission to do today. And mine was take a play day and not feel guilty about it. I love this so much. I want multiple copies of this for friends and stocking stuffers.
Have them and make them yourself. And
I mean, it's a powerful thing. It's a fun reminder, but it's very sad in a lot of ways that we almost need to be, as you said, your previous therapist gave you permission and you needed someone to tell you it was okay to breathe.
Yeah,
and have fun.
It was okay to have fun. It was okay to breathe. And with life's permission slip, I think one of the things I want to do, you want to put
this on my forehead.
Yeah, there you go. You want to do stocking, you want to do the stocking stuffers and give it as gifts and the whole thing. And what I would like to do is start a blog that everybody who's using life's permission slip blogs, emails me and says, today I gave myself permission to. Mm-hmm. And it's everything from today, I live in Santa Monica, I live near the beach. And I live near the beach. Did I mention that? People pay money to go on holiday to go where I live.
Right.
And I still have to remind myself, you have permission to walk on the beach today. And it's 30 minutes out of my day, but where would I find that? I'm allowed to give yourself permission to do lovely things. And if it's watercolor paints and you want to watercolor for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But to do nothing is a really big thing for women. What do you mean do nothing?
Yes.
I'm allowed to do nothing?
Right.
And there's something
you mean
delicious.
like sit here?
Yeah, there's something delicious about just doing nothing. Mm-hmm. Or I love Rolling Stone and I love Vanity Fair and I get both of them. And some days it's like, I just sat and read 3 articles in a row. I did nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I still get things done.
Right.
It's amazing.
And you don't feel guilty about it anymore.
I'm better every day about not feeling guilty.
And every time you teach another woman to do the same, maybe that sort of reinforces your own reminder.
Absolutely. It reinforces mine. And the other thing it does is I am convinced that, and I've seen proof of it, the more joyous women are, and the more joyous a mom is, the more she has had breathing space, the more she has had some time for herself, the more breathing space she has with her kid, instead of, could you just wait? I've watched it with the moms that I work with. I do parenting classes for moms, and the biggest struggle is to tell them, you're allowed to take some time for yourself. You're allowed to say, not right now, sweetie, I'll get back to you. Mm-hmm. And the more fulfilled a mom is, the more fulfilled and energized a woman is, the more we are joyous and happy, and everybody around us is happy. Instead of, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Right.
And that's written in a song for a reason.
Right, yeah. What would we do without country songs?
Really, they carry a great deal of wisdom in them.
I love the permission slip. I love your message, and I think it's a really important one. Thanks, Linnea.
Thank you.